making a handbag. It's very similar to this, and this is called a Tweed Stitch, and we're going to be covering this one. But of course we got this beautiful ribbon yarn, and we want to show you how to use it. So of course this is what we're going to be making first, and I will show you how that stitch is made. So we have 3 different yarns here. I have the dark blue because that's what the color here is. So I am going to cast on just a few of them. So this is how we are going to measure how many stitches we want. You see, the Tweed Stitch is a multiple of 4 plus 3. So I made a swatch of yarn with 20 stitches, and I noticed when I made my swatch, I noticed that 23 stitches, I made it, like in 23. I noticed that 23 stitches gives me 4.5 inches. So in order to have 11.5 inches, which is what I have here, how many stitches do I need? So you multiply 23 times 11, so you have 264.5, and the 264.5 you divide by the leftover number, so that gives me 58.7 stitches. So a multiple of 4 is 56 plus the 3 that I need equals 59. So that is how many stitches I put on my needle in order to accomplish this width. So I will have a link on the instructions on how to come up with that number, and we will start with the stitch. I'm going to show you how this stitch is made, and I'm going to do it with 19. So I'm going to cast on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 3. 1, 2, 3. So now I have my 19, which is a multiple of 4 plus 3. And I am going to start with the next color yarn. And I'm going to use this one. So from here I am going to go and pick up, and I'm going to knit 1, 2, 3, and slide the next one. So 1, 2, 3, and slide the next one. 1, 2, 3, and slide the next one. 1, 2, 3, and slide the next one, and 1, 2, 3. So now on the way back, what we're going to be doing is that we're going to knit 1, 2, 3, bring your yarn to the front and pass that one. Bring your yarn to the back and knit 3, 1, 2, 3. Bring your yarn to the front and pass that one. Bring your yarn to the back and 1, 2, 3. Bring your yarn to the front and pass that one. Yarn to the back, 1, 2, 3. Yarn to the front and pass that one. yarn to the back and do 1, 2, and 3. So now I'm going to make a little knot with these two because I don't want them to be all wobbly there. So just because I need to secure it. There we go. Now I'm going to start with another color, and this is going to be the dark pink. So now this is going to be a little different. On this one we're going to knit 1 and then pass that one and then go knit 3, 1, 2, 3, and pass the next, knit 3, 1, 2, 3, and pass the next, knit 3, 1, 2, 3, and pass the next, knit 3, 1, 2, 3, and pass the next, and knit 1. On the way back, what you do is that you knit 1, bring your yarn to the front and pass that one, knit 3, 1, 2, 3, bring your yarn to the front and pass that one, knit 3, 1, 2, 3, bring your yarn to the front and pass that one, knit 3, 1, 2, 3, bring your yarn to the front and pass that one, 1, 2, 3, bring your yarn to the front and pass that one, and knit the last one. So let's secure that one also. Let's make a little knot there. And now we're going to have, let me fix this one because I didn't pass the yarn to the front. So there we go. Okay, so now we're going to leave the pink and we're going to pick up the dark blue, and we're going to pick it up from the front. So this is the front. This is the way the yarn is going to go. So we're going to knit 3, 1, 2, 3, and pass the next one, 1, 2, 3, and pass the next one, 1, 2, 3, pass the next one, 1, 2, 3, pass the next one, and 1, 2, 3. So this is the way the tweed stitch is made. So let's go and do 1, 2, 3, bring your yarn to the front and pass that one, 1, 2, 3 knits, bring your yarn to the front and pass that one, yarn to the back, knit 3, 1, 2, 3, yarn to the front and pass that one, yarn to the back, and knit 3, 1, 2, 3, yarn to the front and pass that one, knit 3, 1, 2, 3. And this is the way it's done. This is the tweed stitch, and this is the way it looks when you have a lot. So that's the way it looks, and this is very, very nice stitch. I made a whole bunch of stuff with this, so we will continue in a minute. So what happens here is that once I have the height that I want, I made on the two sides the same. The only difference is that one side I started with the knit 3, pass 1, and on the other side I did the knit 1, pass one. So like that, when you put them together, when you sew them together, you do have the full stitch on both sides, and it looks nicer. So now of course I can put my bag in there and cover it, or you can use any bag, whatever bag you want to cover, you can cover. It really is, it's a very easy thing to do. And then of course you sew this part to the inner part of the bag like I did there. So you can have a cover for any bag that you want, any bag. Now I just had this one at hand so I can show you how it's done. So what happens is that once you have it sewed, you are going to pick up the stitches with your fringe right there. What I did at the beginning is that I made a knot and I started picking up the stitches as follows. So on each one of these, on each loop that I have at the end, once I bind off, I pass my stitch and then pass it, and then I go to the next one, pick up the next hole on your fringe. See how neat that is? So you are going to go and pick up the next hole and pass it through that stitch and pass it through the last loop that you made with your fringe. So again, you go and pick up the next hole, bring it through and bring it through. Again, you're going to go and pick up the last one, bring it through and bring it through, and go to the next one, pick it up, bring it through and bring it through, go to the next one, pick it up, bring it through and bring it through, go to the next one, pick it up, bring it through and bring it through, go to the next one and pick it up. Be patient with this because you really want to have a nice piece here. Pass it through and pass it through, pick it up, go to the next one, pass it through and pass it through, and let's do the last one. It's right there, and pass it through and pass it through. Now this looks very nice as it is, but if you do want to have an extra, like fuller fringe around, so you can do that. Let's get this out of the way, and you're going to go on each one of the ones that you already crocheted, the ones that are there. So go and pick it up, pass it through and pass it through. So make that one nice and big, and then go to the next one, pass it through and pass it through, and that's how you are going to go around. Let me go get this one because it didn't go through. So you have to be patient with this. There we go. And then you go to the next one, pass it through and pass it through, and go to the next one, pass it through and pass it through. And that now we're going to have the double, and I will be back and I'll show you how it looks. Let's do one more. You go there, pick up the next, pass it through and pass it through. So now I have about 2 left, and let's finish this. So I go to the next one at the end you kind of have them all piled up, so it's a little bit, so pass it through, and we have one more. Let's go get it, and let's get this one, pass it through, and pass it through. So now we're done with this. We're going to cut a tail about that long, and this tail we're going to grab it and pass it through the last stitch, so like that. It's nice and secure. And I took the knot off from the beginning of the knit, and I will make a knot there, and I'm just going to leave it inside, the bag, because it doesn't bother anyone. So that's what it looks like. So this is what the bag is going to look like once you have it in there, and you are going to sew around. So let's get here, and then of course here you are going to sew this around your bag. You sew this around your bag, like right there, and you're done. That's all there is, because you can have something like this, and then of course you have your zipper there. This is any bag that you can buy, you know, even a cosmetic bag, and you can cover it, and then of course you can cover it with whatever you wish, and that's what your bag looks like. And there you have it. So it's nice and neat, and of course you can do any kind of knit and put that at the edge, and it looks very pretty. And then of course you can do something like this and put it around a sweater, and you can put it around your sleeves and put it around your neck. So this is very, very nice, and it dresses your bags beautifully. And so there you go.